Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and focus your mind to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to give some informations in the beginning to develop your tranquility state, and after you develop the tranquility state, to develop your vipassana knowledge. So these two meditation techniques, these two mental cultures, we call samatha mental culture and vipassana mental culture. So when it go to the Pali language, this called as bhavana. So very connotation of the bhavana is one is cultivation. So cultivate your mind in a skillful way. Knowingly, consciously yourself, you develop bhaveti kusala dhamme. So the here kusala dhamme means, kusala means profitable. Why it should be profitable? Because otherwise it always brings us difficulties. And when the difficulties come to your life, it affects for your clarity. So that's mean whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind as perception, you cannot recognize it very clearly. So practicing meditation will bring this clarity to yourself. So that clarity come out of development of the profitable skill. So when it comes to profitable skills, it brings the comfort to you. And it helps you to have the undisturbed mind. So then you have to recognize what is profitable for you. That dealing with this outside world and spending time with these outside things, conventionally it look like profitable for us. But end of the day, when you close your eyes, this anything cannot help you. It always going to help your mental clarity. And it always going to bring the peace, harmony, happiness out of your mental condition. So then even conventionally, developing the clarity in your mind is necessary, but this is in a spiritual way how you can develop this. So there are two mental cultures, two mental meditation paths that you have to understand. So one is called samatha meditation. Samatha meditation means tranquilizing, calming down, bring your mind to one point and developing one pointness. And another way it called Chitta Bhavana. And in different traditions, it called Satori in Zen tradition. And in yoga tradition, it called Kevalya. This all, when it comes to Samatha or the tranquility state, it helps you to bring your mind to one point. So this is the important thing that you have to remember. When it comes to our brain, we have over averagely in healthy brain over 100 billion neurons. 100 billion neurons. So this each and every neuron activated. It's all work. If it doesn't work, it cannot be there. It is going to go out of the body. So that each and every moment when this cell, that the neurons work and it has an interconnection and it always, it's not going to be itself work. It always transferring the information or the current or the flow or the energy. It always sharing each other. It's kind of like it's saying in wiring, firing and wiring. The firing means it's blink, it's blink like fire, and wiring interconnect each other at the same time. So just imagine this, each and every cell work, and at the same time it exchange its energy. So the thing is this, whatever that you like or dislike, when that kind of thoughts, whatever the thoughts averagely that hold in your mind the longer time, that thought's going to be the master, create the master background in your brain. So as example, if you think something and if you take something as difficult, thinking something, take it as difficult, it never going to take you to easy level. It always create a difficulty. So listen this very carefully. This is because this is the very nature, and this knows, everyone knows mostly, but we misunderstand in different way. When you recognize something as difficult, that understanding, it never going to take you to recognize it as an easy way. It always going to bring the difficulties to you. And if you recognize something as easy, then little by little, what will happen? It's going to bring some facilities to make it easy. So that's the very behavior. So if you take the life as happy, then it going to certain way, it's going to make your life happy. But that doesn't mean just believing blindly things going to work. No, there is a deeper science. But just to practice point of view, I just going to give a little idea. So then you have to be very careful what kind of thoughts that you hold in a day-to-day life. So as imagine in the whole day, you had a busy things and you had a kind of like thinking something or anger, disappointment, and then you suddenly think and you suddenly sit for 5 minutes. That doesn't mean your brain doesn't have time to change its mechanism to this moment. So then in day-to-day life, you have to have thoughts deeply, whatever that you keep doing, bodily action, verbal action, mental action, whatever you keep doing, always remember that this tranquility state to maintain within yourself a little bit with that action. So then when you sit for meditation, it becomes very easy for you. Why? Because the longer time period, your brain, that your neurons used to fire and wire with that idea. So then it become easier. Another thing is, when it comes to one pointedness, this is the thing. When you recognize, when you give a conscious decision regarding one primary mental object to follow it, what happens? Certain level that so this all the 100 billion neurons start to work and interconnect. So the samadhi means all these 100 billion cell, the neurons start to come together and start to communicate the same vibration, same rhythm, same energy, and the same object. Why? Because you follow the one primary mental object. Just imagine how, if you have all the brain cells, the neurons start to come to and the wire and fire with the one mental object, what will happen to your recognition? That is why it called undisturbed mind. Because once it comes to that, there is no any other unnecessary thought. It is possible. You can do it. Only thing is, you need to know this. You have to have this inner wisdom regarding yourself. You have capability to do that. So it like little by little, when you keep practice, knowingly that you can get into that. You can get into that. And so the one is consistency. You keep continue again and again, and then what will happen when you keep continuing anything? It become more easier, and the capacity become more stronger. You just see this skinny guy go to gym and start with the empty bar, and then start to do the bench press, and little by little adding 1 pound, 2 pound, 10 pound, 20 pound, and little by little, and then one day become Mr. Universe, Mr. Olympia. It is possible. It happens. So physically we know this. Physically you train. Look at your whatever the work you do in the beginning of the day, that you just maybe you went there as a trainer, and then from you learn little by little, but you keep continue. Then what happened? Then you became a senior, and now maybe you are the boss. You take care entire department. But how about the first day? You didn't have that. So the same thing with the meditation also. So just imagine how much you give your attention, give your energy to keep focus, little by little, little by little. So then always have intention to be together and keep the connection to one place. And if the mind go here and there, it is okay. Bring it back. That's why we keep practice. And don't depend on the result. Always look yourself. How you doing? Always watch yourself. How you doing? How you practice. Time to time, observe your body. And time to time, observe where your mind and how are you giving 100% attention. So you are responsible for that, your practice. Remember that this is not going to happen like how long you, like as example, to become a good pilot. That it may be, how long that, how many hours that he used to be, that on the sky, on the air. Maybe it become a qualification for to become a good pilot, or 100 air time, or 1,000 air times, or like that. But for you, how long you sit doesn't make any sense. It's like maybe you can tell, now I'm practicing 10 years. Forget about it. Just when it comes to the moment, be in that very moment and be very clear. And develop that skillful wisdom within yourself, and develop the knowledge. What is the knowledge mean? So it is like this. If you look the pen, if you look at the pen, this is, remember this very carefully, get it very clearly. So if you look at the pen as a whole pen, and your understanding should be very clear from head to bottom. And there cannot be something, oh, I like only this place, and because of that I look only this place. Oh, I like only this place because I can play with it. No, when it come to that, you have to recognize the pen as whole. To get into that, this is very important. Remember, the getting to that understanding regarding the whole pen, you have to let go the desire to see the 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 pen. Then that, because that is the very tricky place that you have to understand with the meditation. Because when you put the desire, I want to look this, I want to look, I want to recognize this, that inner desire disturb to your recognition. So then how you can look it, and losing the intention, releasing the intention to be with the pen. That's why you have to practice. That's why you have to practice. And you can do this way. This is what, in the beginning, if you are a beginner, you can do this way. Maybe in the beginning, so as example, this as a whole breath, one breath, we call it one breath body. So beginning to end. Maybe in the beginning, you cannot catch the whole breath, like you cannot see the whole pen, because it has many details. If you look very carefully, it has many details. And even you can write a book, and maybe whole week you need to explain this each and every details if you go with that. So then what you have to do? So first, get into this place and be 100% clear with the beginning of this. And then expand that capacity a little bit more. Expand that capacity a little bit more. And be very clear 100% with this point. And then add another 100% clarity to that point, and add another little bit to that understanding. So like that way, little by little, the clarity you develop. You don't focus to whole pen, but the point that you recognize, you become very clear. And without that clarity, you don't go to this. It is okay. You allow this to be there, but you become very attentive, focus, and to this point, and become 100% clear. And then that clarity, develop a skill to be very clear with the recognition. Then it is little by little. Maybe you take one day to be very clear with this place, but the next day it become half a day, and next day it become maybe 6 hours, next day 3 hours, next day 1 hour, next day maybe 30 minutes, maybe next day it take only 15 minutes, and the next day it take only 1 minute. So that is what you develop as a profitable skill. So in the beginning it take one day. It's okay, but you have to make it very clear. Don't jump. Stay very clear. That's why you have to learn to wait. Stay very clear. Without clarity, don't go to other place. So when it comes to recognizing inhalation, exhalation, because this is an open class and we give many details, but when it comes to your practice, you have to understand, if you don't see the inhalation, exhalation, don't look for beginning, middle, and end. How you can see it? cannot see. So then don't worry about it. You no need to follow like others, because end of the day we're not going to give any kind of reward. It is not like a race. It is not like a wrestling game, boxing game, fight each other to look for a winning. No, we work for the clarity. So then yourself, if you don't recognize the sensation, how you can see this is inhalation, this is exhalation? If you cannot see the inhalation, exhalation, how you can recognize this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end? If you cannot recognize the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation, how are you going to recognize it is long or short or heavy or soft or warm, cold, like that details? So then what you have to do? First, get into the sensation, catch it. It may take time, it's okay. Be very clear with that. Once you get it, maybe it takes 10 days, it is okay. Spend that 10 days. Why? Because once you get that, the very next time, it's going to go to recognize the inhalation, exhalation 5 days, and then 2 days. And then by the time 1 second you get into and you recognize the whole system. So that is a skill that you have to develop yourself. You can do it. Only thing is, when it comes to practice, be honest to yourself. If you can't find the sensation, it is okay. Relax yourself, work with your posture. How? Keep your back straight, neck get straight in one line. Don't move. You can get it. In the beginning, we also the same. We didn't get it in the very first time. It took time. But you can get it. Otherwise, how I can going to tell you you can get it? Because I know myself. I know myself that's then and very well. I don't know about you. You all I don't know. I just see the names. Some people I never met. I don't know anything about you. You are not my neighbors, or you are not my friends, or only few people I know here. Other everybody I never met. But what I'm telling, I know myself, and I do it very well myself. So that's why I try to help you. Just do it yourself. Do it very well for you. Maybe you cannot do it for somebody else, you cannot do it. But when it comes to you, you do it very well. So work with the posture. I spend so much time. I used to practice yoga, and I used to practice martial art, and I got help in a different ways. But then I understood the value of the posture. So then if somebody say, forget about the posture, you just do it what the way you want, forget it. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. It is kind of like a head massage, babysitting. This cannot do it. So work with the posture. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable there. You can work with it. And then bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. And if you cannot find it, 3 reasons. Work with it. One is move your body back and forth little bit and find the right place. And head, move this up and down. So that is physical. Your body, upper body back and forth, and the head up and down, and find the right place. There is a right place for you. Another one is the mind. If the mind is somewhere else, even the posture is okay, you're not going to get the attention. So then look into your mind and see where it is. If it is not with the body, where it is, bring it back. Work. Then if you work with these 3 techniques, you're going to get the sensation. if you alive. Why? Because if you alive, your inhalation, exhalation happens. And once you get the sensation, everything going to be very easy. So that's why the beginning this, to get into that, you have to have the very clear intention, effort, and you should know the technique. That's why giving technique part is my part. That's why I'm sharing it. But giving effort and understanding it very clearly and doing it yourself is your part. And bring that 100 billions neurons to one point. Once it come to that, there is a beauty going to happen. In our body, there are 15 trillion cells work. It all active. Just imagine. 15, averagely, healthy person, 15 trillion cells. Nothing going to be neutral or deactivate. If it is deactivate, it's go away. All active. 15 trillion cells active. But it always respond to neurons. That is the interconnection. So the sati means you bringing these neurons and cell to one communication. That's mean once your intention become sharp and clear with one pointness, what will happen? This all the 15 trillion cells start to flow that way. Flow that way. It's like, that's have you seen that the birds, the bunch of birds go in the same direction together. It's no one telling and you go this way, go then, everybody go in that flow. So same like this, all the trillion cells start to flow towards that way. And when it comes to that point, your mind and your heart and start to come together. And not only that, entire body come together. Your whole body feel as one. There are many other meditation techniques that people can experience this. But we go towards the wisdom path. Our purpose is catching the reality. What is the bottom of this all? That is where we going. So once this entire body start to come together and keep the connection and the energy start to flow through the same direction, what happening? Your brain and your heart and get interconnect. Consciousness and subconsciousness start to come together. And that is what called awareness. So when it come to that point, and you become one, that one mean your whatever the thoughts or whatever the ideas arise, and it become very clear, and there are no separation from that. It is not going here and there, and you're going to be with that recognition. So once it come to that level, what will happen? There is an ability, when the mind and heart come together, there is an ability, you start to feel this entire, this 15 trillions, the cell, the flow you can feel, the whole body that you can feel. And that is where you can recognize the entire body moment by moment, moment by moment, changing. Because the flow means change. And once you recognize how your entire body, the mind, your heart, your thoughts flow and change moment by moment, moment by moment, the perception come to you, and you recognize how it also change in the same way. So there is a beautiful example for this. You know that when the sun rises, and according to your location, and you see sunrise, and then it become noon, evening, sunset. But imagine, can you catch? There is always sun rising. There is always sunset in this world. There is no moment. But the thing is, when you come to self-centered mind, I am, you become kind of like a solid. And because of that solidness, you cannot recognize this continuation. Why? Because you hold it to a place. But imagine, when there is always sunrise, when there is always sunset, if you can see this continuation, you just see only the change. You don't see the day or night. So the same thing with your mind also. With whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, it come because of the change. And whatever you experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, because you experience it because of your change. So then imagine, the change come, and according to the same rhythm, you change. So then there is no solid perception or solid experience. When you interrogate these two and experience it at one, that is the moment we call vipassana understanding. So it is possible. Why it is possible? Because that is the truth. That is the bottom line of this all. So then in the beginning, you have to come to a one pointness. Keep your mind in one primary mental object and start to get into the flow and recognize it. See how it happening in you. And then the other things going to become very easy. But in the beginning, remember, as I mentioned, what you experience. Don't jump. Be very clear. Be wise to experience it to the 100%, and then let it develop in you. Let it develop in you. Don't do half and jump to next. Don't do half and jump to next. Just in the beginning, give your fully effort, and then little by little it become easy, easy, easy. So as example, when we do loving kindness meditation, and we go to 6 directions, forward, backward, left, right, and somebody send a message me, Venerable, it is going too fast. I need more time. No, you cannot do it. Even if you keep practice, I know in the beginning it takes some time sometimes thinking about them, but believe me, if you keep practice, within 1 second you can think about this entire universe within 1 second. The only thing is, why you need so much time? Because we used to be with them, to think in a deep, more ways. So your mind has so the strength and capacity. And then so when you think about the forward, if you really focus to that you can focus your mind forward, it limitless. You can focus and direct and spread the loving kindness towards the limitless areas. And when it comes to 6 directions, like 1 second, you can do it to all 6 directions. So it is a development of mind. So practice it. So only thing is you need the effort and the focus. Remember, your focused mind is stronger than the diamond. Your focused mind is stronger than this sun or this moon. Your focused mind is stronger than this earth. Your focused mind is stronger than this entire world, this ocean water, the current of the water. Your strong, your focused mind is stronger than this, the wind go around this world. So that is that much power you have. So then you have to look yourself why you cannot experience it, because it's scattered everywhere. This, imagine this 100 billion neurons, 15 trillion cells, it not communicate each other to one direction. So the tranquility meditation means you bring it to one direction. Vipassana means another way. You recognize the flow or the change happening in or out in the same rhythm. So let's get into practice a little bit, because we can talk about this, but by practicing whatever you understand is the best for you. So then when it go to the practice, forget this all and be with your recognition. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. So now allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, through the sensation, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. Do nothing extra. If it is possible, keep unmovable posture yourself. Follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Bring your attention to the sensation and recognize the change happening moment by moment, itself arising, existing, and disappearing. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, when you start your life as a human being, you didn't know from where you came. So it's like you came out of a wall and you don't know what the other side of the wall. And you came and then you keep going now. Remember, you're going to meet another wall in the future. And once you hit that wall, you're going to end this life. And then you will pass that wall and then go to somewhere. So before you hit the wall, there's something you can do. Remember, you came out of the wall and you keep going towards another wall and you're going to hit it. All this people, whoever came to this world, eons by eons, through this history, generations to generations, your ancestors, everyone, hit that wall. And you also going to hit. And we don't know, you and me, maybe in the very next second, next hour, next day, or next week, next year. So somewhere we will hit that. But before you hit the wall, there's something you can do. Recognizing that and doing it yourself is your responsibility. Because once you hit the wall, you cannot do anything. But now you have time. So then remember what you can do. One day, our Buddha visited King Kosala, his palace, for a dana. So when the Buddha visited the palace, and the Buddha saw there were 3 horse carts. So that time the kings used to travel from horse cart. And there were 3 horse carts. So one was very damaged and very old. And it was kind of next to the palace. On the way to the palace, there was a garage. So in that garage, it was there. And the second horse cart was little bit okay. It's a little bit, usable. And the third one was very beautifully decorated. It's kind of like a new one. So then Buddha asked King Kosala, I can see that 3 horse carts. What are those? So after the dana that the Buddha had the conversation, and so then the King Kosala told, oh, Venerable Sir, that older one is my grandfather. He used to use this horse cart. He used to do many kind of traveling, and even the King Kosala used to mention about the wars that he used to win using that horse cart. And the second one, it is my father's one, and he used to travel here and there, this country to that country, and he used to do this war and that war using this car. So he told his history about that horse cart. And this new one, oh, it is mine. And even Venerable Sir, this is the horse cart I used to go to that place and this is the horse cart I use for this woe and that woe. It is very good and run so fast, very well. So like that. He appreciate and mention about these 3 horse carts. And then the Buddha said, King Kosala, it's reflect our life. That is what I'm trying to teach to people. See, this when it comes to dharma, it is the Buddha, he used very simple example, whatever that the king also appreciate, and use the same object to bring the right subject. It's not about different teachings, the same thing that what we use, and it transformed to dharma. So the Buddha said, King Kosala, so we can use this horse cart to go here and there and maybe win the wars and to travel. So like that, it brings us many benefits. But look that your grandfather's horse cart is already damaged. It cannot use. It's sometimes you have seen when you drive, maybe you buy a very brand new vehicle, or electric car nowadays. And when you go on this freeways, sometimes you see very old, you know, junk trucks. It's go like, it's almost collapse on in the middle of the freeway. So it's sometimes like that. Sometimes when you go to, there's a garage, the different mechanic place, and you see very old cars, they put somewhere, but it's still they appreciate it, and it has a name, it has a history, oh, this guy used to be this, that, like that. People appreciate. It's a kind of like a, you know people keep it as collections. Sometimes people collect this, you know the vehicles. So like that. So but Buddha mentioned, look at, it's already, it cannot run. And look your father's horse cart. It also already damaged, and it little bit, you can use, but by the time it also going to collapse. And your horse cart, King Kosala, it also going to go same like your grandfather's horse cart by the time. So you use this to go here and there, and to do overtake many countries, travel and enjoy. But at the same time, that horse cart has its own nature to to collapse itself. So our body also the same. So if you remembered your grandparents, and they also had the time, young, strong. They used to do many things. They used to travel many places. They used to enjoy their life. But by the time what happened? They get old. They couldn't move themselves. They cannot stand themselves. If they cannot, sometimes they cannot feed themselves. So like that, our body also one day going to become like that. So nowadays, you using this body, you can go here and there, you can enjoy your life, you can do many things. Nothing wrong with that. But remember, as soon as possible, when there is an opportunity come, there's this horse cart, that your horse cart going to hit the wall. So before that you hit the next wall, using this horse cart, rather than overtaking others' lives, rather than going here and there and spending your time and enjoying your life, and find the wisdom. So what the Buddha said to the King Kosala, before that your horse cart get old, and go to the real victory, and take the journey towards the Dhamma. and understand the Nibbana. So then yourself remember in day-to-day life that whatever around you, these things going to go away. And even your own body, this eye, this ear that you hearing, the smell come to you, nose, and the teeth. And when the teeth came to us as children, the parents were so happy, other people were so happy. And it kind of like when the children getting teeth, it's kind of like they becoming powerful, strong. So psychologically, they gain the protection themselves. So it's with the teeth, they come to this kind of like a understanding, they can protect themselves. Though they develop the self-centered mind. Oh, I am this. I can protect myself. So like that. But by the time these things will start to go away, your mobility start to lose, your balances start to go away, and things cannot hear anymore. Maybe you cannot recognize the people in front of you, and you're going to forget your husband name, wife name, your children names, and how many children you have. And sometimes even your children come to feed you something, you may cry and you may shout, oh, somebody come to kill me. So like that I have seen when their own children go to parents and they shout, oh, this is my enemy coming and try to hurt me. So like that it's natural. So because this conditional mind, when it get old, it go crazy sometimes. So before this everything change like that way, before you hit the other side of the wall, so remember, as soon as possible, every day at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes, develop very tranquility state. And from there understand the see yourself how everything changed, and experience it yourself, and get into that vipassana knowledge yourself. Another thing is, don't bound to anything. And I'll give a one technique. If you can practice yourself, I know in family life you cannot do it every day, but just keep an idea. One day, maybe not today, tomorrow, next year, but one day in your life you will get the opportunity maybe to practice this. So when you eat, just don't try to share the taste of the food with others. Eat it alone. When you watch a movie, don't don't share it with others that what you experience. Be mindful and focus and experience just by yourself. It's very difficult. And when you enjoy any music or something, just do it by yourself. Don't try to tell to anybody. Don't express yourself. No, just do it yourself. If you dancing, don't dance with the group. Just dance yourself. If you that seeing something, or if you're hearing something, or if you're doing something, so don't try to share it physically, verbally, mentally. Don't try to do it. Just try to do it by yourself. And so that's the first level. And then the next level, do it silently. Don't make any noise. Do it silence. Even it's like when you eat food, maybe you're not going to tell to anybody but yourself, oh wow, oh, like that. Don't make any noise. No, do it silently. So do it alone, do it silence. And the third one, do it knowingly. Do it knowingly that you do this. This means consciously. So those are the three things. It's nothing magic. The only thing is you do it personally just by yourself. Don't express it. Don't share it with somebody, and don't make any noise even yourself, even no any harm. Complete silence. Do it silently and do it knowingly. Just try. So before you hit the wall, one day maybe, just try it, and then you will recognize something. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life during this time period. May everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabrogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi diga yuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahan hotu. Sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless.